John, great to see you. A busy first day for you. How have you found things initially?
Great. Obviously, the first day in today, met all the staff. Liked what I saw, and just really getting everything now planning for the lads' arrival for pre-season training in July.
And in terms of Chesterfield, obviously, a good club and a good job for you that you're leaving behind. But you said it was an opportunity you couldn't turn down. What about the job is it that you find so appealing?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to thank Chesterfield. You know, it's a great club, and everybody, you know, the staff, certainly the supporters and the players that I work with. They've been really supportive, and I got some great messages, and they've been really understanding. This was an opportunity, I felt that I needed, I wanted to take. It's a club that, you know, I don't know, Colin's mentioned it before. He tried to get me a few years ago, but you know, I was obviously unavailable then. I couldn't do it, but it just pricked my thought process. And when it was obviously the opportunity to come this time, it was something I didn't want to turn down. I'm delighted to be here.
How would you describe the opportunity that you're coming towards in terms of what's here at the club for you? Obviously ambitious and forward-thinking, but lots to work on as well.
Yeah, a challenge, like everything else. It's a challenge. You know, it's obviously, you know, the situation where we are regards the league. It's in a league that it shouldn't be in. You know, I know every public manager will sit here and say, you know, we want to get out of this league, but we definitely going to try everything we can to do that. I'll bring enthusiasm. I'll bring certainly discipline. I have a way I want to play. I have a way I want the players to work, and how I want them to conduct themselves. And I think they'll enjoy working for me. So I just need obviously the support from everybody to obviously the start of the season to move forward.
People have used words like disciplined and no nonsense and straight talking with regards to describing yourself. Would you say they're fair?
I just think I just want people to be. I'm honest. I think I'm an honest person, and I'm pretty, probably too black and white maybe, But I've got some old school values which are just respectful. That's all. But certainly when it comes to coaching, I have some what I think are good ideas, and I've got a track record of producing players and structuring things and building things from the bottom. I've been involved in a lot of football, big football clubs. I've worked for my country, at 2 levels and been successful with that. So, I've got a lot of experience. Probably manager, this one is now the one that I didn't have on the CV, but certainly I've done it at a lot of levels as an intern. So, I'm under no illusions what it's going to be about.
And you've approached many new football seasons, of course. How does a manager and a management team go about setting up a club and a team for a new season? What's involved, I guess, for you now between now and when we kick off? Yeah,
you're just understanding. Obviously, today the first day is the staff I'm going to work with. Russell, Elliot, and Josh. Just going through what they've seen. What they want regards of. What they've got planned for pre-season and my ideas for pre-season, and now I want to go forward. So it's really putting my ideas over to them, getting an input from them, understanding what they're about, understanding that we want to hit the ground running if we can, and just really gearing everything up for the players to come in. And I'm really looking forward to getting started. I'm quite enthusiastic about what I do. I'm quite passionate about what I do. And I have a track record of producing players and making players better, and I think I can do that here.
I guess it's a bit of a cliche question, but you talked about needing support. How important is that support from the fans now in terms of a group that may have had a tough season last season, but get behind you and the players?
Yeah, well, I think it's important. Coming from Chesterfield is a good example. It's a club that got relegated and then almost got relegated again last year, but the fans got behind it. They were great, and it does help the manager. It certainly helped me in my interim period over the Christmas period. The fans got behind the team, and it makes the job easier. Everybody will have an opinion. I don't quite know what I've got to work with until we get going. How I want to play. I have an idea what it looks like, but until we get going, it's very difficult to understand where we are. So it's just a little bit of patience, but I promise everybody I'll be working hard, and they will see, hopefully, a vibrant team who plays some attractive football.
I know yourself and Russ have already been talking plenty about players, both who've been here and those that you'd like to attract to the club. One of those, of course, being Joe Ironside, who, apart from Kidderminster, you know very well.
Yeah.
What's the latest with Joe?
Yeah, well, I've spoken to Joe. Joe's obviously a player I've known since he was a young player at Sheffield United, who came through the system. He's obviously a good player. He's I've spoken to him, had several conversations with him. We've offered him what we feel is a really good contract. He's got a few offers, and we're still, waiting on a decision from him. Hopefully, it'll be positive, but we'll have to wait and see. And we will be speaking to him again after this interview and see where he is with his decision making. But obviously, he's a player, I think highly of, and a player I'd definitely like to keep.
And it's one of those, I suppose, where looking at the opposite, if it has to be that a player of his stature and certainly his age, you get to move maybe into the Football League, but that's another one of the things that we as a club are here for, isn't it? To get those players.
And you have to, you have to respect that. If Joe's got a chance to play in the Football League as a player, you have to respect that decision, and you have to say, well done to everybody at Kidderminster for giving him that opportunity. And then we have to move on and get a replacement. But hopefully, it's not dead in the water. But it's when there's decisions to be made, and he's got some options. For him, to be fair, he needs to make the right decision, because I wouldn't want him to stay if he felt he regretted it after 2 or 3 months. So I'm sure I know Joe really well. He lives near me. I know him very, very well, and he'll make the right decision for him. But I have to say, he was quite excited when he knew I was coming in.
Final point, I always like to talk to managers and players about the start to that pre-season. I know it's not up and down hills for 3 weeks as it used to be, but are you fairly, for the want of a better phrase, hardcore about those first couple of weeks, or will it be tapered?
Not really. I'm very open. I'm quite specific in what I do. I like it to be football based. Also like a part of it, the conditioning work, but to work in a certain way where a lot of the clubs I've been at, certainly when I was at Bristol, I was the one who tailored all the pre-season. So the lads will be fit. They'll definitely be fit. We've been through that obviously with the sports science today, but I have my ideas of what I want. But that certainly I'm not one old school who just likes running around. I used to hate it as a player. I hate it as a coach, and I hate it as a manager. So I think we can use our time, a lot better and more wiser than just running around, up and down hills or running around fields.